flavors of artificial intelligence. So what uh, what is AI to start with? I'll go first with the Self-Strat's introduction in brief. So Self-Strat is India's leading artificial intelligence startup. We specialize in development in research in emerging areas of AI and deep learning. We are working on world-class machine learning innovations, right from sports to retail to publishing domain. We have a lot of communities going on. One of them is Disrupt 4.0, where you are attending this webinar. Our focus areas in AI are, as I said, publishing, marketing automation, text recognition, computer vision, etc. Deep learning algorithmic designs, neural networks regression, and supervised learning. We are also dealing with some of the IoT companies who are trying to get into AI for better analysis of their data. Solution development in both Python and Google TensorFlow using Amazon AI and Alexa skill sets. Uh, we have this research blog on selfstrat.com, which you can have a look, and also join our Disturb 4.0 talk series as today. We have regular webinars as well as seminars going on across India. Mainly, we are headquartered in Bangalore, but I'm shunting between Delhi and Bangalore because we have clients in both the locations, as well as we are talking to some foreign clients for projects, as well as doing some POCs across India and the world. So what is AI? So AI can be said whenever in a machine start showing intelligence, that's when we call AI is achieved. So for example, autonomous cars, Ubers or Olas of the world, they are trying, not so much Ola, but yes, Ubers, Nvidia and others are trying autonomous car deployment in US regions. As well as when you see Facebook and when you post any picture on Facebook, it tries to recognize faces from your past history, as well as tries to auto tag the name images with the names. And if you say yes, then it learns from your experiences and inputs and becomes better every time. And then understanding human speech in terms of chatbots and more robotic applications coming in. So all these are examples of AI. So let's go next. How does machine learning or AI work? So machine learning is how AI is achieved. AI is a concept, whereas machine learning is a way by which artificial intelligence is achieved. So machine learning works on similar concept as human brain works. So in human brain, there are trillions of neurons which may look like this, and they are interconnected to each other, and keep on getting signals, electric signals, and other signals, and keep on forming decisions which help in leading our lives. In neural networks or in AI, they are called nodes. So all these blue dots that you see are nodes, and each subsequent layer is an input layer for the next layer. So how can it be understood better in a example? Let's say e-commerce example. So in e-commerce recommendation engine, if you see Flipkart, Amazon, or any other site in the world, you will be getting a lot of recommendation that who person who bought this also bought this. Now, how would a machine know what would be your possible next uh, choice of product or service? So let's say first layer in this diagram is a product. All these nodes refer to some products. Second layer refers to uh, customers, your profiles, and third layer refers to the interaction that you show on the website. So like you see from left to right or top to down or left to right and then diagonally left and then in Z formation. So and where all are you spending the most time on the site? Where are you clicking? Where are you putting things in the cart, or what are you removing from the cart? All this comes into interaction on the site. So each of these three layers interact with each other, and if you see all these layers are connected with two-way arrow, so they keep on sending back and forth information until they reach the a conclusion that okay, this customer may like this, has bought this, may like this next time. Then this layer feeds this into next subsequent layers that this person bought this, like this, or may like this, and then it goes to next layer saying that this is the input from previous layer. What do you think should be the as per you? This is a new product profile, so will it match or it will go further deeper into it, and it goes on and on until a customer gets a recommendation that you bought this shirt, you may also like this trousers or jeans or similar kind of shirt later on. So that's how you get recommendation engine working there. Now, what are the kinds of AI? So there are natural language processing. The first one for NLP, where chatbots come into play. Learning and application systems, problem solving, perception, AI-enabled robotics, gaming, and modeling. We will be going through each of these one by one. So let's first take NLP or NLU, NLG. So in Bangalore or in Silicon Valley or some other parts of the world, you find a lot of companies saying that we are a NLP company. Some will say we are NLU focused company. Some will say we are a NLG company. Now, what all are these terms? So NLP is natural language processing. So what I'm speaking, what is computer comprehending, and it is all NLP, NLU, NLG are all singularly called NLP, but these are different terms. So NLP is natural language processing when what you speak or what I am speaking is being converted into computer processed data, as in bits and bytes. Then comes NLU. It checks for the profanity, sentiment detection, topical content detection on this data, wherein these kind of checks are done. So examples of NLU are Amazon Alexa, chatbots, famous chatbots being promoted by these companies. And whenever you speak or type anything into these, so they check all these things. For example, if it's a forum post containing any profanity, or if it's a negative or positive sentiment topic, or it's a email, or it's a message, or it's a tweet, or it's an essay, entity detection, where is it arising from, and what could it be relating to? Uh, this is NLU. Then NLG is when again this computer's bits and bytes are converted to your. So examples are bots in e-commerce or customer service. So how are they used? So some popular examples are Nikki, a company from Bangalore, Yellow Messenger again from Bangalore, ManyChats is a US company, I believe. So all these bots are being adopted by companies in and out now. Nikki is a very simple and easy to work bot. If you would like to try, you can look for, if you have Facebook on your Facebook Messenger on your mobile, you can download or look for Nikki bot, and you will be able to find it, deploy it on your Facebook, and you'll be able to order things like groceries, Uber, Ola app in India, or uh, you can order for dry cleaning services, and so and so forth. So they have about 15 or 20 odd tie-ups across services, and you will be able to talk to Nikki bot and get all these things booked right from your Facebook Messenger without going elsewhere. Yellow Messenger is a enterprise chatbot. It is being deployed by companies like Bajaj Alliance, being latest, Asian Paints and others for customer service improvements and otherwise the customer service in those companies. ManyChats is a Facebook Messenger bot again. Costs very less, about 500 users per $10, and anybody can configure it for their customer service operations and other improvements. So how are they being achieved, being used? So for example, speech understanding. So what I'm speaking is being understood by a bot. So that would be speech understanding. Question answering. So if I ask something to the bot, it should be able to answer those questions. So in customer service call centers, banking, all these areas, question answering bots are being deployed. Information retrieval. So when I feed into a bot anything by text or voice, it should be able to retrieve information from backend databases and be able to give me the response. And language translation. So I was pitching this AI services to a company, to a large OTA in India, and their first demand was that we get a lot of customers out of Spain and Europe, so uh, Europe in general. So we should be able to get all the replies, all the data being translated in various languages through the bot, and be able to reply them in real time. So another good example I would like to give is how brands are using chatbots. Just a minute. Somebody is saying something on meetup.com. Okay, taken care of. So, so for brand awareness, for example, if I see most of you are would be knowing KBC here, Kaun Banega Crorepati, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire from US. So consider if Amitabh Bachchan's bot is deployed by that brand, its awareness will go very sky high because you will be thinking, oh, I'm speaking to Amitabh, whereas Amitabh's bot would be deployed there. And Amitabh will be giving all kinds of call to actions on TV and on websites and otherwise, saying that message us now, and you will get all kinds of answers. So your brand awareness of that channel will go very high in that case. Customer education. So when Amitabh, what is there? You can ask any sort of question like who were the past KBC's winners, what were the kind of questions, what were their pictures, every kind of comprehensive information and rich content can be served to the customer right then and there. Brand equity goes up because bot is handling queries across 24 by 7 hours and days. So that increases the brand equity. And when so much of things are being shared, so much of knowledge is being shared, and all questions are being answered for the customer, lead conversion happens, and you tend to call. It's a human tendency that when we are getting so much of information, we get enticed to call at that moment of time, and that's where the brand earns. So these are some of the ways brands are using chatbots for. Now, what could be the potential savings or what could be the potential use case in a business environment? So, it was estimated by McKinsey that if chatbots are deployed in 2016, what could be potential annual US salary savings uh, in insurance, banking, or financial services sector? So, the chart here that you see is in orange is the total annual salary expenditure that is done by the companies, and blue is the potential annual salary saving that a company can be doing. So as you can all see, these figures are in billions of US dollars, and in 2060, that's about 2 years back, these kind of savings were uh, expected by McKinsey to be coming out. So next is learning and adaptive systems. The picture on the right that you see is mostly you must have seen these kind of things in Star Wars or Star Trek kind of episodes. A hand is open and it is partly machinery. Uh, and even today, Google Doctor has come in. Google is saying that uh, we are deploying Google is working on AI-based, machine vision-based lenses inside the eyes, and people will be able to do better, have a better vision than their normal vision until then. So that's coming into cybernetics area. Concept formation, as I just told you about in the second slide. Uh, some disturbance is coming from somewhere. I'm not sure where. Nothing from my side. I'm not sure how this is going. Anyways, so concept formation is widely being used in e-commerce, content recommendations, etc. Next is problem-solving models. It helps in production planning and forecasting, interaction between robots, etc. For inferencing from large databases, interactive problem-solving as in between robots, automatic programming as in AI creating another AI model of itself, a replica of itself, heuristic search, which that is pattern recognition in image search and others. So I'll give you an example here, production planning and forecasting. One of our near close friends in Bangalore created a unknowingly used some machine learning algorithms and created a program for production planning and forecasting. And he was not able to sell it in the market, but then he gave it for a beta testing to one of his customers for 3 months. And fortunately for him, their production forecaster, his client's production forecaster fell ill for 15 days. And then they tried this software of his, and finally, when that guy came back, he had lost the job. It was negative in terms of job, but job displacement. But actually, that company found a very good use case for production planning and forecasting, where it was doing better job than the guy who had gone on a leave. Interaction between robots. So there's Nissan had deployed a Nissan or Siemens, I'm forgetting the name exactly, but the company had deployed a fully automated uh, robotics factory in China somewhere, and that can run for 3 weeks continuously without any human intervention. So that is automatic programming as well as interactive problem solving, where robots talk to each other and solve the problem. This visual computing or pattern recognition, also called scene analysis, it's a favorite of mine. Also, most work being done in this area. So it is called visual computing or computer vision or machine vision. All are same things. Works on convolutional neural networks, that is CNN, and helps in e-commerce image improvements. If you see any e-commerce company in India or abroad, they are now using, most of them are using AI-based or CNN-based image improvements, image uh, decreasing of size, increasing of bandwidth, video analytics, all is being done by CNN. Healthcare analytics is being done by visual computing, wherein better scans, better detection of diseases is being done by computer vision. Security, defense forces, education, factory automation. So there's again a good example. I pitched CNN based machine vision tool, quality checking tool to a large OEM in North India, wherein he was saying that we are dependent on a large contract manpower, whereas we are not able to work in the night because contract manpower goes to sleep and quality gets hampered on the conveyor belt. So we had pitched in for a machine vision based tool, and they were like it's still in discussion because these tools and solutions are costly to make. But in that their dependency on the contract manpower or even the permanent manpower will go, and they will be able to deploy this machine vision tool on their conveyor belt with faster speed of quality check as well as better efficiency outputs there. Another example is they were saying, since they have a lot of contract manpower, which has which when become old, they befriend supervisors and they sleep off on the floor in their free time or in their break times, by which the production efficiency goes down. So we suggested that high definition video cameras can be installed there, which can do facial recognition of all employees. And then they will not be able to do HR or payroll, wherein it will be directly uh, sending this information to the payroll, and their incomes will get deducted. Third problem was, since it's a OEM, a vehicle OEM. So vehicles get manufactured and get parked in the warehouse, uh, and there are thousands of vehicles parked there, and each is having a toolkit. So consider a situation where you buy a new vehicle and you find the toolkit is missing. So that was the problem they were having, that customers were buying vehicles and they were finding that toolkit is missing. So contract manpower was going in their break time or while leaving their shift to the warehouses, stealing the toolkits, throwing off of the wall, and while going back, they just pick it up and sell it in the market. But when the vehicle reaches a customer, so there is a reverse logistics or customer complaint problems coming in, which company is facing. So again, those high definition cameras will be taking care of the uh, security and upkeep of the vehicles so that no tools get misplaced. So that is a factory automation example. In education, essay checkings are done. So essay checkings or summarization of text, all this is done by CNN based solutions. Let's see if there are any questions. Well, please save your questions for the last. We'll be taking them at the end. Meanwhile, I'll just go ahead. Next is robotics. So you can have a look, or probably you have already seen this robot on video. It's IBM Watson's CONNIE. Uh, so Hilton is the first hotel chain across the world which has deployed this robot, which is called CONNIE. By them, it's based on IBM Watson. It acts as a concierge to the people coming into the hotel. People come and ask them, ask CONNIE if what is the specialty of the day, where are the restrooms, uh, what is special in any event happening in the hotel. Everything, all answers are given by CONNIE. So robotics are being used in companies like hospitality, transport, security, military for a long time, banking, households, etc. So uh, there's a I believe all of us have believe now that Google is taking over the world. So they are mapping the streets, they are mapping continents, but now I'm saying they are also mapping the houses. Now you may ask how. So there is a company called Roomba, ROOMBA. So if you take their house cleaning robots, so recently there was a small news. I think it got released by mistake. I don't know how, but Google has tied up with Google Roomba for selling them data on the houses wherever their cleaning robots are deployed. So that's a funny part. So now Google will be uh, also mapping your house areas. Nothing is left which Google is not mapping. Next is AI in gaming like chess, Go, Bridge, etc. So IBM supercomputer Deep Blue beat Grandmaster Kasparov in 1997. Google DeepMind AlphaGo beat global champion of Go, which has probably infinite moves and difficult to master, but even AlphaGo was able to beat that. And more poker, checkers, battleship, even battleship, which is a very new game in the market. Not so new, I would say, but still very popular among teenagers and adults both. I also play it with my kids and my friends. So MIT professors have created an algorithm that talks to the opponent in such a way that they are able to they reveal their positions of the ships on the sea on their board, and the computer is able to beat them that way. So that's how AI in gaming is coming into uh, coming in this area big time. AI in modeling, behavior and relationship prediction. Uh, so healthcare 3D modeling for making body parts, financial analysis, etc. Uh, so healthcare, there is a company, I believe, I think, I don't remember the name exactly. It's called Kosher, Kosher. It was, it is invested in by Goldman Sachs, I think, and then Google's one of the founders. And on the premise that when they were, when Google's founder was on a trip to somewhere, and he said that I am not able to track my stocks or such a calamity, some calamity has happened in some part of the world. How will it affect the stocks? So he co-founded or oblique invested in a company called CoShare, which in real time tells you at any moment of time. It scans about 65 million incidents or events, whether it's financial, retail, real estate, or anything like that across the world, and tells you exactly how stocks will be moving up or down in which area across the world. So that is a SaaS-based service, and uh, the rich and famous people have taken that service for their stock trading, I'm told. So how I've taken an example of manufacturing and supply chain, how AI analytics is being used there. So robotic process automation is the lowest hanging fruit which companies go for, and already $2 trillion worth of annual savings are being seen in this area. Smart machines with self-diagnostics are being made. Analytics with machine learning for demand planning, forecasting, I just told, is being made. Digital twin is a concept given by GE, General Electric, wherein they said that we are able to mimic, or I would say, uh, show it exactly, give an exact replica of their turbines, large turbines, and they are exactly able to create a replica of it on the software, the digital twin software, and it is able to tell them when exactly a turbine will go down for maintenance, so they can keep a turbine ready for as a backup, and they don't lose millions of dollars with every hour of that machinery down. Then software bots comparing multiple scenarios side by side to recommend best course of action. Machine vision for quality check of products, as I gave the OEM example. Next is computer vision used for facial recognition on factory floors to detect static manpower or check thefts, as I gave example for. Uh, there was a news 3 4 days back wherein it is said that Amazon is using its facial recognition technology to police services in US for better security and surveillance. And then drones for deliveries, direct to consumer with facial recognition playing a major role in customer identification. Autonomous fleets being used for removing dependency on drivers for end-to-end SCM automation. Uh, so Siemens example I gave you, they are also now they are waiting for instead for autonomous trucking fleets, so that from their fully automated factory, autonomous fleet can take over, and human resource dependency goes down there as well. And human comes into interaction only when it reaches the dealers or warehousing points. So these are some of the examples how AI or analytics is being used in manufacturing supply chain. So this is about it. So it was a small topic, but I thought it's important nevertheless. Let's see if we have some questions here. Yes, recording would be available later. We will be uploading this recording on YouTube channel on Selstred. There are other webinars also available there from past. You can have a look at that. Uh, yes, Watson from IBM is also doing well in medical. I would say Watson is doing a lot of good work, and Manipal Hospital in Bangalore was the first one to take up Watson for their cancer research. And even we met Manipal Hospital CEO, and he said that we are already using IBM Watson. So yes, they are doing very good work there. Neural networks. So in new question is in neural networks, how we decide that how many hidden layer will be best for any use case. So it is a hyperparameter decided by data scientists based on experience. So yes, uh, it is not something that you can know definitely that so many layers will work. It has to be a permutation combination. A lot of experimentation goes into it. With experience, you come to know how many layers will be working well in any solution. What does self-start do? As I mentioned earlier, self-start is into uh, research and development as well as e-learning content providing. We are providing e-learning content to quite a few large e-learning companies across the world, as well as we are doing some POC as well as project development in machine vision, video analytics, e-publishing, etc. So difference between deep learning and machine learning. So machine learning, as I said, is a normal concept. AI is being a concept. Machine learning is the term for how AI is achieved. So there are supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. So when you have data, you are able to do a supervised learning when you have both input and output data. When you have input data but no output data, that's when it is unsupervised learning. That is, you have the input but you don't have the final output. So machine learns by experimentation, and reinforcement learning is like dog and stick example you must have heard of. If you throw a stick and dog is able to bring it, he gets a cookie, cookie. But if it's not able to find, then it gets a stick. So dog starts understanding that if it finds the stick, it gets a cookie every time. So that would be reinforcement learning. It is being highly used in gaming systems. Now, what is the difference between ML and DL? So ML is generally AI is called is said to be learning through ML, but deep learning comes into play when there is detail intricacy required. For example, facial recognition or even object detection on the road by autonomous car will be a deep learning use case. Whereas e-commerce recommendation engine can be called a ML use case. Supervised or unsupervised learning, which is better in the long run? Well, if you have data, then yes, supervised learning always is faster and better. But if you don't have data, over long run, you may run out of the output data for new products being made, for new analytical insights coming out, for new kinds of problems that you're trying to solve. You may not have the data available. So unsupervised learning will have to kick in there. Uh, is number of layers are dependent on data also? I would say partially yes, because for example in recommendation engine, uh, like I used to preach for a recommendation engine earlier, wherein we used to say that we need minimum, like every client in e-commerce industry wants AI, but we right from startups to large companies. So to startups, we used to say minimum 100 products are required, minimum 1,000 customers are required. Otherwise, what kind of data would we like to generate there? If you don't have that, we can't do that. So yes, number of layers is also dependent on data, how much data you have. Will number of layers affect the processing power? Yes, more layer means more processing power. Uh, Definitely yes. Can we use machine learning or deep learning to enhance functionality of RPA bots? Yes, how? Well, this question is relevant, but not relevant to this webinar. It's a lengthy one. It's a technical one, more technical one. But uh, RPA also, I would like to clear here. RPA is robotic process automation is a mix of very old and not so very old technologies. It also has Java, PHP, and everything like that, which you can use old technologies to do a robotic process automation deployment. Not necessarily it will involve neural networks there. So, okay. For autonomous systems, learning by exploration is more preferred. For autonomous systems, learning by exploration is more preferred. Is Monte Carlo or temporal differences better in terms of exploration? I'm not sure on this. So this being a very technical question, I'm more on business side of things. I don't have answer to this, but if you write to us at contact@selfstart.com, we will be able to answer you. My colleagues will be able to answer you on this. Any other questions here? We still have some time, so you can ask more questions if you have. Any more questions? So we have a newsletter going out. Some of you must be receiving it or will be receiving now, but others can visit selfstat.com and subscribe to our newsletter. We send it out every week, and also we have a Disrupt 4.0 group running on WhatsApp if you want to be part of it, because we share a lot of content on day-to-day basis. Almost every alternate day we try to share some content and which can give you a lot of knowledge and insights on what's happening in AI across the world. So for doing that, my number is listed on the screen. So you can uh, WhatsApp me with saying that you attended this webinar and would like to be part of the Disrupt 4.0 group. I'll add you there. How is machine learning used in the marketing aspect of business? Well, if you there is a tool in Adobe which is machine learning based, which helps in designing of lot of good designs and brochures. That is all ML. A lot of music is being generated, lot of campaign music is being generated by AI now. So all those things are already being used in marketing aspect of business by large companies. Uh, how else can you be using? As I said, recommendation engine. So we were pitching AI-based recommendation to a large company. I would say news-based company wherein they have multiple genres. I think 16 or 17 genres of news in about 18 to 20 languages across the world, and they were saying they would like to do more, and they are producing about 75,000 pieces of news every day. But problem they were facing is, for example, Coke is considered a leader in cold drinks. When we talk about cold drink, Coke comes to mind. Or when we talk about news media leadership in Indian industry, for that matter, or foreign industry, Forbes or Fortune or India Today comes to mind. So when they were putting in ads, they were not able to exactly tag which kind of news should be going with what kind of advertising. So, for example, Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi talking and ad of a flower shop going there. It should be either showing India Today or it should be showing Coke. So we were talking about AI-based recommendation engine for ad serving on the platform. So that's how these can be used. How do we decide which algorithm to use, like any specific one for forecasting? So as I said earlier, it's a very experimentation based area. So with time you get into habit of saying, okay, this kind of algorithm will work in this kind of situation. But in the initial years of your experience, you will definitely have to do a lot of experimentation there. So customer behavior isn't supervised learning better? Uh, I would say yes, but you should have that data. If you have that input and output data, if you have customer profiling, if you have product profiling, and if you have enough number of customers and interaction data, then yes, supervised learning is better. But when you start a new product or launch a new service, then you don't have that data mostly. So that's when unsupervised learning will have to kick in there. Any more questions? Okay. Uh, any internship opportunities in self-start? Well, we keep on getting such requests. So depends on where you stay also. So you can drop us a mail at contact@selfstat.com. That's where our HR folks will see your profile and will contact you if the profile fits in. But as of now, or in general, no. But if you send in and send in your profile and your profile looks extremely good, then yes, there may be an opportunity. Also depends on whether you're looking at tech side or non-tech side. So on tech side is more possible, but on non-tech side also I won't say no. But depends all on the need and the time as well as your skill set there. How do we join the WhatsApp group? As I said, you can message me on this number given on the screen here, 9999658436, and mention that you attended our webinar. We will be able to add you there. Do we need to see the skewness? Can you please elaborate? I did not get the question. Oh, that's a big area, big topic in itself. How is data skewed? Data cleaning, data screening, everything works. It's a big topic in itself. So if you go through our SelfStat YouTube channel, you will be able to see a webinar there on data cleaning itself. So you'll be able to see how things are being done there. If you have any questions, you can send us to my this ID or contact at selfstat.com and we'll be able to revert on that. As well as you can ask those questions on our WhatsApp group. Most welcome. Machine learning has many advantages, any disadvantages. Well, everybody's talking about job displacement. Everybody's talking about war and robots taking over and all those kind of things. So job displacement being biggest, I would say as of today. Uh, Also, if you have bad data, it can be a problem. So, for example, I recently shared a small info on our WhatsApp group, which said that there was a lady, there was a star called Celine Hathaway, and there was a company called Hathaway in Europe somewhere, and whenever so Hathaway stock was moving based on machine learning's algorithm studying sentiments on site, and it did not it did it was trained on a bad data, I would say, because uh, ML algorithm was not able to recognize whether ceiling head rate and head rate are different. So ceiling head rates, whenever popularity went up, head rate stocks went up. Whenever it went down, whenever ceiling's popularity went down or there were negative sentiments, head rates of stock pricing was falling. So that was a bad use case of machine learning. Bad data being used for machine learning training there. So if you have bad data, ML can be very bad. It can give you very arbit or wrong answers. If it is good, yes, it can do wonders. But again, job displacement and other kinds of issues are there. I think we are good now. I'm not getting any more questions. So I'll close it here. Thank you for your time and attending the webinar. Uh, uh, I missed this. Somebody saying I missed this as well as previous webinars. Could you please let me know if webinars are going to be hosted on the web? They are on the web on YouTube's Substack channel. So one last question I'll take up. It says machine learning needs an input and output. What's the use? What's use in data analytics? Well, data analytics used to be old now. I would say data analytics is old now. So it is still being used for smaller database sizes, for smaller data sizes to analyze. But when humongous data is there, when millions of transactions need to be analyzed and better insights to be generated, machine learning and real-time insights to be generated, machine learning comes into play. Data analytics was happening mostly on past data as well as not so much in real time. Machine learning can work in real time. That's how it can be segregated. But big data is also mostly feeding into AI now. Big data technologies are not able to analyze lots of information which ML is able to do it in real time. Well, we'll be sending the webinar recording as well as we are hosting webinar recording in a day or two on our YouTube channel. Um but we'll also be sending it uh, in our newsletter, and you most probably will be receiving it. When you go to that channel, you'll be able to see all our past webinars there. So thanks, guys. Thank you for attending. Hope to see you next time. We will be announcing our next webinar by Saturday or Monday max. So you can follow our meetup page and get all the information from there. Thank you. Good night.